Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Karate Kid, Katrina.
Okay.
Wow.
And we've got Jamie Lloyd, Joel.
Hey guys, what's up? She's not even in this movie.
Oh, she will be
She's
talking
not
about.
even in this timeline. Oh yeah, I know what you're gonna say about that.
All right, so Katrina is back. It's been, I don't know, a long
It's been
time.
a while.
Long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't let her on. She had too, strange of opinions on movies.
Oh,
So.
wow. That's what happened. Okay.
But she is back, and she's back for probably the biggest movie of the year review that we're going to be doing, and that is for Halloween Ends.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, 2022. All right.
Which
Joel?
I do have to say something real quick.
Yeah.
So our Halloween Ends predictions episode is close to being in our top 3 of our entire collection. So we got to do more predictions.
I guess so, yeah.
Episodes.
Yeah, people seem to really like that one.
Are we going to break
Really like
down
those.
if any of the predictions panned out?
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, for sure. I think our next one should be Scream, but I mean that's still like 4 or 5 months away. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But yeah.
Scream.
but
All right.
yeah, the predictions are a big hit.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can do that for Scream with when a trailer comes out or something. We'll do a predictions. All right. So who is in Halloween Ends?
All right, so this one stars Jamie Lee Curtis. She was in Knives Out, Prom Night, Terror Train, and they're remaking the Haunted Mansion movie. So she's going to be in that one next. Not sure when it comes out, but probably like next year sometime.
Okay, cool.
And then we got Andy Matichak. She is Allison, and she was in Sun, Assimilate, Foxhole, which is a war movie, apparently. So, yeah, I feel like the Halloween movies are her biggest. Yeah. Hopefully she gets more roles after this, because I do like that. I do like her, so.
Katrina's over here with her thumb down.
What? All right, well, we'll get into that. We got Rohan Campbell. He's Corey. He was apparently they did a Hardy Boys show that he was in 23 episodes of. He's one of the Hardy Boys, and he was in Operation Christmas Drop.
Okay.
And
I feel like I've heard of that.
We've seen it.
Operation
and he looked familiar.
Dumbo
I
Drop
kept thinking, I know this guy.
Okay. And A Miracle on Christmas Lake. So
He's a Christmas
couple
guy.
of classics. Yeah, he's done. He did at least like 5 in his filmography that I
He
saw.
kind of looks like a Christmas movie guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's a look.
I was
he's got
thinking
it.
he was like a Disney actor or something, because I definitely recognized him.
Okay.
Yeah, that Operation Christmas Drop sounds like a Disney Channel original movie. This was written by 4 people, so that's fun.
No wonder.
Yeah. This was written by Paul Brad Logan. He wrote Manglehorn in 2014 and Be Comfortable Creature, which was a short. And those are the only 2 that he's done. And then we've got Chris Bernier. He did The House, a Hulu Halloween anthology, which he did 1 episode of. And that was all he's done.
Okay.
And then we've got Danny McBride, classic, good old Danny McBride. And he did Eastbound and Down, 29 episodes, Vice Principals, 18 episodes, and The Righteous Gemstones, 18 episodes.
Okay.
And then we've got David Gordon Green. He wrote Prince Avalanche, Goat, and an upcoming movie called Mr. Machine. And this was directed by David Gordon Green. Again, he did all three of the movies in the trilogy. And he directed Pineapple Express, Joe, which was a Nicolas Cage movie, Our Brand is Crisis, which is a Sandra Bullock movie, upcoming Exorcist movie, which he did get a trilogy for as well, and a Hellraiser show, which I guess is going to be an HBO show. So
okay,
so two more franchises there. So
yeah. So
which he is only directing; he's not writing. So I am happy about that.
Yeah,
because he is a better director than he is a writer. So
I always wonder, when we do these movies and you give us the writers and they have like no filmography, or they have these really like how do you get that first guy you mentioned? How does he get writing credit for Halloween Ends? Like I have
no idea.
How do you get in there?
He might be like a friend of David Gordon Green's, or he must know somebody at Blumhouse.
Yeah.
So, because people like that don't just get on these big franchise movies.
Yeah, you gotta. I know you gotta start somewhere, but Halloween Ends. I mean, for horror, that's like the peak.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not. I don't know.
I'm actually kind of surprised that they got two people that didn't write either of the other two movies.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, for the third movie in their trilogy. It's like, okay, where did these guys come from?
Well, where did these storylines come from?
So, yeah, that's very true. They came from both of them.
Maybe we have the answer. All right, so the saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode comes to a spine-chilling climax in the final installment of this trilogy. That is the synopsis.
Come on, IMDb, you're better than that.
That is a very incorrect synopsis. Although it comes to a climax, we can say that.
It's not wrong.
It's not wrong. But
it's
spine
not right
chilling.
either.
I don't know about spine chilling. And yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
So for this one, I think, by the time this gets posted, I think people will have seen this movie. It's on Peacock. It's in theaters. So I just want to go through the movie. Not like scene by scene, but like part by part, I guess. Like important part by important part.
Yeah.
So if we do it that way, then we're essentially doing spoilers all the way throughout.
Yeah.
Which I think is the best way to do this, because I feel like there's parts to this movie throughout where you can really have like an opinion on. And rather than just give general opinions and then try to go deeper in spoilers, let's just go for it all the way through.
All right, spoilers. I just call spoilers right now.
Yeah, spoilers. I'll throw in the little horn. All right, so to catch up a little bit, we had Halloween 2018. We had Halloween Kills. Those took place on the same night of Halloween in 2018. At the end of Kills, Michael Myers was supposedly like killed or beat up at least a lot, and then he kind of just like disappeared and ended up killing Laurie's daughter.
Yep.
And that's how it ended. So this one, Halloween Ends, begins with a family, like a mother, a father, and their son.
1 year later.
Yes.
It's important to note there.
Yes.
Because I already have an opinion about that.
Me too, Joel.
Okay.
First scene of the movie. I already have an opinion about that.
So let me go through the scene a little bit, and then we'll talk about our opinion about it.
Yeah.
So it's 2019, Halloween, the next year. This mother, father, and their son. The mom and dad are going out for Halloween, so they hired a babysitter. His name is Corey. And he's there, to take care of this little kid. The mom is telling him, like, hey, don't let him, like, watch anything scary. He's kind of still scared of the whole Michael Myers thing from last year and this and that.
Yeah.
And they leave. He ends up watching The Thing with him. So
yeah,
didn't really.
I was wondering what that was. I was like, yeah, okay, that's the OG.
Yeah, yeah. So
the original.
He then goes. The kid's being a brat and everything, and he ends up going into the kitchen. I think. What was he gonna get? Like a glass of chocolate milk or something?
He did get chocolate milk.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't the kid ask him for something?
Times. I don't remember. He ends up going into the kitchen, and
no, he gets mad at the kid because I think Jeremy is his name, and he just gets up. He's like 5 minutes, and you're going to bed.
Yeah,
and he goes. He doesn't get the kid something. There's a pattern with Corey where he likes chocolate milk.
He really does.
It happens a couple of times where it's like, all right, that's good, but it's kind of a weird choice for your character to just
he likes
choose every time. Yeah, it's good.
Well, and it could be a fun thing for a character to have.
Yeah, a little quirky
but
thing.
We'll talk about how that was ruined.
So he then hears something like a crashing sound or something, and so he goes back out, and of course the kid is gone. So and the light fell, like the lamp fell. So he puts that back up, and he's kind of looking around for the kid. He notices that the front door's open, so he goes outside, calling his name. He's not there. Goes back inside. He starts to hear the kid screaming upstairs.
There, at one point before that, there is a shadow behind him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is a shadow.
Which,
that's right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
There's there's one way upstairs. Okay.
Yeah. So, as a viewer, you're kind of thinking maybe Michael was in the house or something. They're setting this up.
Well, because it was like a big shadow too, a tall shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he hears the screaming upstairs. He goes up there, and then he basically gets tricked into going into this room, and the kid shuts the door behind him and locks it, and the kid's laughing on the other side of the door, like, haha, I got you, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So Corey is in this room, and he's getting, pretty upset. He wants to get out. And he's, panicking. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's, almost, claustrophobic or something. I'm not sure why he was so upset.
He's freaking out.
But he's scared, freaking out.
He's drinking his chocolate milk. He's scared of the dark. It's just,
yeah.
He's a kid at heart.
Yeah. And now that I think about it, the mom did say that he was afraid of the dark, the little boy. Ever since this whole Michael Myers thing. And this is a theme throughout, the fear of Michael Myers and what it's done to people in Haddonfield. So maybe he kind of has a similar fear or something.
And you would think, if that's what it was, because that's what I was thinking, that maybe that would come to light later. That he has had this fear of Michael, or that he had an experience with Michael or something that we find out about later.
Oh no, he's Michael's best friend. We find out later.
Yeah.
But no, I did find it to be a little over the top with how he was reacting, trying to get out of the room. And so they don't really explore anything on that, but he was freaking out, and he's pounding on the door, and it shows him pounding on the door and kicking the door as it's showing the mother and father coming home. And so they're like pulling up into the driveway. They're opening the door. And he kicks the door open, the upstairs door. And we don't see it happen.
Mom's walking in, he's like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
That's right.
So they hear that clear as day.
Yeah,
so
they hear him say, I'm going to kill you,
to...
Jeremy, or whatever. Yeah. And kicks the door open. We don't see the door hit the kid, but apparently it does. And the kid falls from the top floor.
Like the 15th floor in that massive house.
Yeah. It was like this.
Yeah. They definitely made a point to show us that it's not just 2 stories. Like, we're looking at multiple stories here.
Yeah.
And, that was pretty shocking. He comes falling down and, like, the way he fell was, like...
Yeah.
Like, really awkward the way he fell. It looked really, really weird. But, terrifying and traumatizing for a parent.
It's an intense way to start the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And, so then they look up and, the parents look up and he's there.
Corey's just there looking down, holding a knife.
Yeah, he's got a knife, too.
Because he had grabbed a knife when he got his chocolate milk.
Well, no. So the knife was missing.
Yeah, the knife was missing. And then
the knife was just gently placed on the stair. Like, what?
Yeah.
What is this? Like, this is not even Michael that's doing any of this. It's the kid. Like, why did he grab the knife? Why did he place it gently on the stair? Like...
Well, it seems like the kid knew that Corey was scared of Michael Myers. And so the kid was trying to play this trick on him like Michael Myers was there.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah. Well, so he looks really guilty. Standing there with the knife saying he's going to kill him and then he dies. So...
And then the kid dies,
Yeah. And then the mom's like, what did you do? And then, boom, it says Halloween Ends, title screen, and then the music.
Yeah.
So a very different beginning. Actually, right from the very, very beginning. When you first hit play on this movie, the music that plays.
Yeah.
It's like from a radio.
DJ.
Yeah, it's like the DJ from a radio station. DJ. And when I first hit play on this movie, because we watched it on Peacock, I thought it was playing something else. Like, I thought, it's like a glitch or something. Like, I thought something else was playing, like an ad or something that, because when you first hit play, it does play like a little ad before the movie. And then the movie starts, and I thought, the ad is like overlapping with the movie somehow. So we're going to have to go back. And so I rewound it and restarted it, and it was still the same. So I was like, I guess
this is actually part of the movie.
How it starts, okay. Because the other ones all started with, like, just, just, like, all serious right away. And then this one's got this, like, goofy DJ with some, like, weird music.
We should have known from minute 1 this was going to be different than the other two.
Yeah.
The second one.
Yeah.
So, with that scene, all right. So, it's been 1 year. We're talking about the following Halloween at this point.
Yeah.
And there are kids trick-or-treating? Really? Like, Michael Myers is still out there. He obviously hunts people on Halloween. We're not going to wait a couple years before we, especially the parents, to let their kids go trick-or-treating. Like, we really going to do this right now? Like, 1 year later?
I don't think that they're really clear. Well, no, because it does show that the town still believes that he's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. I'm just like, all right. I mean, this movie could have taken place, like, even that scene could have taken place a couple years later, and then, maybe the actual story starts a couple years after that, because I know it's 3 years after that moment, that first scene that we jump into the movie. It just seemed a little weird to me that they would already be out trick-or-treating the very next Halloween.
Well, maybe it was just a few kids. Are you questioning the parenting?
Seemed like the whole neighborhood. Maybe. Seemed like the whole neighborhood was out there. And parents were going to Halloween parties and everything, just like nothing.
You can't let the terrorists win, Joel.
Maybe wait a couple years.
That's his whole motive. He doesn't want anyone trick or treating. That's why he kills people. Can't let him win.
That's why he kills people.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I mean, no Michael Myers so far. This kill is like an accidental kill. It was pretty shocking. I didn't really, not at all what I was expecting.
Yeah,
I don't believe that he would have just not gotten any time for that because
he
it
did
was
get time.
his.
Yeah, he did get charged with something. I can't remember what they called it. But I don't know if he went into prison. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't think he went to prison for it. He may have gotten like community service or something. But it's like, yeah, it was an accident. We saw it. It was as an accident. But it's the parents heard him say, "I'm going to kill you, Jeremy," and then he dies, and he's up there holding a knife. Like, no, that wouldn't fly in real life. Like that's
if anything, there had to be some sort of negligence, some sort of manslaughter case. Yeah, because with the context that anybody other than him knows, you can't. He's at fault to some degree.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, what are you doing with that knife? Why are you saying you're going to kill him? Like,
yeah.
I was really under the impression that he did go to jail for that year.
I don't think.
I don't think he served any time for it.
Yeah, I think they did mention that he was charged with something, but to me it seemed like he didn't go and serve any time.
Okay.
Yeah. So the music is good. We get that classic Carpenter score.
Yeah.
We get the pumpkins and all that.
The pumpkin part was kind of cool.
Yeah. The font of the whole thing was different. It was all like blue.
Yeah.
Which was different. Usually it's like that orange and black.
It's like orange, yeah.
Yeah. So then after that, we kind of get into...
Oh, I was going to say a line that I really liked that the boy said.
Okay.
When he was like saying, "Aren't you scared?" The babysitter was saying that. And then he's like, "I'm not scared. Michael Myers or the boogeyman kills babysitters,
not kids." Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But then the kid dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we kind of catch up with Lori, and she kind of is writing this book, and she's kind of like narrating this scene, which is, she's writing the book, and this is what the book is saying. It's basically about how the boogeyman has left, and, and then there's still all this evil, but, everybody still thinks it's him, but, then it shows clips of like, no, Michael Myers doesn't use a gun, and no, so all these things are still being he's still being talked about. He's still at everybody's like, front of mind or top of mind. And but she is moving on and writing this book to try to, I guess, heal and move past everything.
I have an issue with that too. So the way her character is in this movie is how her character should have been in Halloween 2018. Her character should have been flipped. Yeah. Because she's been this, like, in 2018, she was just like this crazy wild woman, basically, who like booby traps her houses and, teaches her daughter how to like shoot and everything. And just, he's just on the lookout for Michael, like for 40 years. Then we go to this movie, and it's only been 4 years. He is still out there. At least in 2018, he was locked up in a maximum security prison for 40 years. Yeah. But in this one, he's out there. We don't know where he is. He had just killed her daughter in Halloween Kills, and she's just like, "Oh, I'm just moving on with my life." Like,
Yeah.
No. Her character should have been flipped.
Yeah.
Her crazy, wild character should have been in Halloween Ends and not in 2018. But
I did like her character in 2018. And I agree with you. This Laurie it just did not fit.
Yeah.
It did not match. It didn't match the severity of the situation. And it wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She did mention in this, I think, that she was seeing a therapist too, so that might have helped this this version of her, because I doubt she saw a therapist in the 2018 movie at all, which is why she went insane. So that's where I might give kind of a pass, but still, she shouldn't be as calm as she was in this movie.
Yeah, so. And I've heard, and I think I might have mentioned this in our predictions episode, but I heard that one of the reasons why you might excuse this is because she now knows that Michael is not out for her. Mm-hmm. In 2018, she was still under the impression that he was out for her. So that's why.
But she should be out for him. He killed her daughter, so she should be out for him at this point.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just have heard some people try to explain that. Also, she's like decorating for Halloween. She's like carving pumpkins and
you think that would be encouraging she wouldn't participate in?
Yeah, and telling her niece, like encouraging her, like to go out to the Halloween party.
Granddaughter.
Yeah.
4 years after your mom just died on Halloween, and is like, no, go to the party, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, it's pretty out of character. Doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. So yeah, this is like the side of Laurie I didn't buy. I also didn't like her character for the first half of 2018 though, because it was an exaggeration. I felt like a huge exaggeration of her character, and this is a huge under exaggeration.
Well,
not a word, but let's
or
go
exaggeration on the other side.
Yeah,
I'm so over it, and I get that like she's done fighting, but gosh,
you can be done fighting when he's dead. When he's dead, for sure. Like this is that's when you can be done fighting.
It
when
just,
you know for a fact that he's no longer going to be a threat to anybody.
Yeah, it really didn't match up with the character that had been established in the other two movies. So, I would agree. So we learn, that she's moving on. She's kind of playing this more like grandma role now, decorating and stuff. And she lives with Allison. Allison works at this, she's like a nurse or something.
For his creepy doctor.
Yeah. And then we run back into Corey. And he is, and this is years later. This is a few years later.
Yeah, after 3 years after that.
Yeah, his whole thing. So he's going to this gas station to get some chocolate milk, I think.
Yeah.
He got chocolate milk.
Yeah. And he comes out, and then there's these like teenagers that are kind of like, they're trying to get him to buy alcohol for them, and he tells them no. And so then they kind of start messing with him, pushing him around and stuff.
Yeah.
And these, like, bullies are in the movie numerous times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you're like... Because he said he was 21 in the beginning of the movie. So he's 24 now. And what are these kids? Like, 16? Or like...
They're seniors in high school. So they're like 17.
Is that what they said? Okay. But still, I mean, they didn't look like... intimidating or like they were just like these punk kids, but he just led them.
I I think like the main one was like on the football team or something. So like there's some athleticism there. I know he's still a kid, but I'm sure he could beat him up 1-on-1 if he really wanted to.
I don't know. He was a lot smaller than him too. It looked like.
There's also like 4-on-1 too.
Yeah.
So.
He was he was getting pushed around, and then what's her name? Lori comes over and like, hey, what are you doing? Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's like, okay, there's this guy who killed this kid, and then we got Lori, so they're like, oh, look at it's the the freak and the monster or something.
It was the psycho and the
freak show, I think.
Okay. Something like that, yeah.
I think it was the freak show.
The freak show.
Yeah.
And so they leave, and then Lori and Corey go and slash their tires. As you do. I mean,
yeah.
Of course, yeah.
And so still no Michael Myers. So we're gonna then go and and he like breaks his poor chocolate milk in his hand because he's so upset, and he like and
it's like a glass bottle of chocolate milk.
Yeah.
And
it just shatters in his hand.
Yeah.
Cuts open his hand.
So then Lori takes him to the hospital with the intention of wanting him to meet her granddaughter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this guy who just was all pissed off and crushed a glass bottle in his hand.
Yeah.
And who killed a kid a couple years ago.
Who has a reputation of...
Well, that was an accident. Like, just,
She wasn't there. She doesn't know.
I know.
So... That's her motivation. Like, she sees this kid and is like, is drawn to him, to, now I need you to meet my granddaughter.
Yeah.
And somehow he's going to help motivate her to go to this Halloween party. And it's so focused on, you have to go to the Halloween party.
So, and I think...
Well, because if he didn't, then the rest of the movie wouldn't have happened.
Right, that's true.
It happened that night, so...
I think the idea behind their whole thing is he's this misunderstood person, she's this misunderstood person, they all have their history within the city or within the town, and so I think that's where the attraction came from. And
if that's what the writers want to put across, then put some character development in there. Do something.
They do a little bit with
an hour later.
Yeah,
they do more with her in this movie than they've done in the last two movies, especially kills. Like, you don't really get anything with her in that one. So I am glad that they do character development in this movie with Allison and with Corey.
Yeah.
Not really with anybody else.
Yeah.
Does anyone know why Lindsay was in this movie? At all?
Yeah, she's the bartender.
She's 2 scenes. She's in 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Just in the background too. She doesn't really say much.
Well, but I guess what I mean with character development, at that moment, you're supposed to be they make this locking eyes moment at the hospital.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Why? What just happened? And then they're
supposed to just buy it as love at first sight.
Yeah. And then they're drawn to each other. And then an hour later, she explains.
Yeah.
I read all the articles and felt like I...
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah, so it did take a little while because the whole time I'm thinking too, why do they like each other so much? They just met. Why are they so infatuated and why?
And why is
none
Lori...
of them have done anything of value for each other?
And why is Lori obsessing over pushing them together?
Yeah. So that's a good part of the first act is...
Well, you find out throughout the movie that everyone in town thinks this is he's a good kid, and it was just a misunderstanding and everything. At least some of the people in the town. Lori might be one of them too. It's just, it was all a mistake and an accident, and he's actually a good kid. And I think that's why she was pushing it, because she, from the last 3 years or whatever, because we don't know anything what happened after from 2019 through 2022. Like we don't see any sort of like character development or anything. We don't see anything like that. It's just everyone's just like, yeah, he was a good kid and everything. So it's just like, even Jeremy's dad was like saying that he's a good kid and everything. So I don't know. I think that it's just, and it's a small town. There's probably not too many people there to really.
She saw this guy who's getting picked on and who, has this reputation. She knows that she has one and her granddaughter has one. So she's like, oh, a perfect match.
He'll fit right into our crazy family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, but still weird.
Yeah. So, but a large portion of the first act is them kind of getting to know each other, I guess. Allison and Corey, and then a little interaction with Corey and Michael. So they end up going to this Halloween party, which was really
just a bar.
It was a bar, but there was the whole dancing. That was really weird.
Yeah, was he on like ecstasy or something? Like, did he take any drugs? He was just like
laying
on the ground
like shaking and.
Yeah, they were really having a good time.
I was like, what is happening? Why is he doing that? Like,
and he just met her.
Yeah.
That's what's so weird. Like, dude, you guys just met.
Yeah. And so then he ends up, he's having a good time. She's having a good time. And then the mother of Jeremy is there. And so she kind of brings down the vibe. And, basically, makes him feel bad and everything for what happened. And so then he storms off. And
I mean, from her point of view, I wouldn't blame her.
Yeah.
Honestly. It's,
So he storms off and, and then Allison catches up with them. They're outside and they have this big dramatic.
It's like a teen drama now.
Yeah. Big dramatic.
Why did you leave me?
Conversation.
The only thing was missing was it should have been raining.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. So and then it's like, this is why I don't ever go anywhere, and this town hates me, and blah blah blah. Oh yeah, well, look at what they think of me, and So at this point, I'm like, okay, so that's what the connection is.
That's when she tells him.
Yeah.
When I read your article.
Yeah. So
it's like, one of those girls that falls in love with the murderer who's in prison.
Yeah. Like Dahmer.
Yeah.
So and still no Michael Myers. So so then he runs into the bullies again. These little kid bullies. And they're kind of pushing him around, and he is kind of standing up for himself this time and not giving into it. But he ends up getting tossed over a bridge.
Yeah.
So
attempted murder. Come on, guys.
And the kid was like, "Wait, he fell."
Yeah.
No, he didn't. That was an obvious throw. You threw him. You didn't push him. You threw him. So maybe that kid was pretty strong.
Yeah.
I mean, in comparison, I mean, age-wise, he got, the age on him, but if he's on the football team, if he's like captain or whatever, I don't know if he was, how high up in the football team he was, but even on the football team, like, you've got to be pretty strong to do that. So I don't know. And especially, like I said, there's 4 against 1, so the odds were against him too.
Well, and he was trying to just lay low and not get into fights when he was at like the gas station and stuff.
Yeah.
He was trying to just, come on, guys. No, I'm not.
Yeah, but then they slashed the tire. So then
that was Lori.
Okay. I know, it was Lori's fault, but now you kind of...
But that was his first little excitement of...
Yeah. That's true.
So he crushed the glass in his hand, and then the jock like shoved him against the wall. So it's like, all right, well, he kind of did start it.
Oh yeah.
At that point, the jock was like,
oh yeah.
So yeah, let's get.
So he gets thrown over the bridge, and ends up being taken. There are a few shots in this movie that are cool with like from the side angles and like in the background and shadows and stuff. And this is one of them. You do see someone there and he gets grabbed and he wakes up in this like sewer and is kind of just like walking around. And this was in the trailer. He gets grabbed by Michael.
One of the only jump scares, and they threw it in the trailer. Thanks.
Yeah. He gets grabbed by Michael, and they lock eyes. Yeah. And then it shows like these little flashes of, things that have happened.
Michael sees his past.
Yeah. Things that have happened in Corey's past. And then he lets him go, and Corey's like, "What the heck?" and runs off, and then there's this homeless guy over there, and he's like, "Why did he let you go? He never lets anybody go." And apparently people have been taken into the sewer and killed by Michael, I guess, over the last few years. And he's like, "You need to go back in there." And I think he says like, "Go in there and get me my mask. I'm Michael Myers."
Yeah, I'm Michael Myers. Okay, okay, dude. Okay.
And he pulls out like a knife on him. And so Corey uses that knife and kills him.
Yeah.
So Corey kills this guy. That's his first kill. And from that moment on, Corey is different throughout the rest of the movie. He's like way more like emo,
confident.
Well,
like,
is it?
But he decides to go see Allison. Doesn't even go home, take a shower, or
I know.
just goes and sees Allison, same clothes, just still all bloody, and so this was a really corny part of the movie, I thought, because it shows Lori upstairs and she's like looking out the window, and Corey has this motorcycle, and he's parked by a bush. And he's like standing by the bush, like kind of.
Oh,
like,
I like this.
Kind of like Michael.
It was reminiscent
did.
of
It was
reminiscent this one.
I know, but why would Lori even look like? Oh, what's he doing? Like
no, she
loves
saw
him.
the evil in him.
Oh my! From that
she
far
saw
away.
the difference. The way he was standing.
The way he was standing.
That's how she saw. That's how you were like, oh, okay, not you, but like, that's when, as a viewer for me, I was like, okay, so like, Michael was transferred into him, and it's like this whole aura that you can see.
Right, but that's
nobody just stands by a bush and stares. Come on now,
but that's,
unless you're Michael Myers.
Like, so she's moved on completely, but the minute someone stands by a bush, then it's oh man,
it's
triggers a memory.
It was triggering.
Oh my gosh! So I didn't buy that. I thought that was really forced.
Okay, that was something I liked.
They sometimes in 2018 they did it a lot where they like kind of force these little Easter eggs of previous Halloween movies, and I felt like that was one that they tried to force in.
I didn't feel like it was forced.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't.
He
like
just stood there. He's just a guy standing by a bush. I guess
Now
what normal people do. Right?
She went out to look for him, and he's gone. And then he like pops up from behind her, and that looked like supernatural. That looked
how did he
really weird because
there was no shadow at all behind her. Like
no.
How did you?
And he's like bigger than her and taller, and like you would see him behind her, but he just like pops up, like
you just like picture him just like creeping behind her, just like, oh hey, what's up?
He was doing like an army crawl to get over there.
So yeah, that was weird. Looked kind of funny.
And again, that was like the whoa.
Yeah,
like Michael. He's Michael.
Yeah, I get what they're doing, but I just wasn't buying it. It wasn't.
We get what they're doing in that moment, but then they forgot what they were doing.
That moment was strictly for a jump scare.
Yeah,
but, there's nothing else with that.
So Laurie's like now like on high alert with him. When she just loved him the day before.
So that is the thing that is frustrating is she flips like it's like there's no progression to anything.
Yeah.
There's no progression to this relationship that Allison and Corey have.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think they were like together for years and years and had this up and down relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no progression to Laurie's paranoia. It's like, I love him. Boom, he's Michael.
Boom, he stood by a bush. Oh no.
But I did like Michael was transferred into him.
So what they could have done there is just shown him, not shown Laurie looking at him like all suspiciously. They could have just shown him standing by the bush, and then the viewer's like, oh, that's like Michael. Because that's what he does. He hides in the shadows. He, it's reminiscent of that first movie when he is right by the hedge.
I think they could have shown that before showing Laurie doing that.
Or something.
But I think that having Laurie looking, she was looking because they had been at the party, which now, I don't know, now is she paranoid that she went to the party? Like,
well, he stood by a bush, so... I mean,
but I mean, why is she looking out the window? Because she's like waiting for him to get home.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, she could have just been looking out the window, just coincidence that he was standing right there.
Just like Michael when he stands by the sheets.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Exactly.
I mean, like,
exactly.
When she's, in the classroom and she looks out the window, it's like,
yeah. She's always looking out windows.
Right
she loves to look out windows.
Laurie, stop looking out windows. Like, what's so great about outside? Come on.
Maybe if she just figure that out.
Just shut your blinds. So he's like, I want to talk to you, Allison. And he's like all talking different now and stuff.
Yeah,
he's like all like different. Super like not aggressive, but like I don't know, like he's on something or something.
Can he see too? Like they smashed his glasses the night before.
Oh yeah,
and he's just like, is everything a blur, or
maybe that's why he looked
just
different.
Like make him have better eyesight?
Well, maybe that's what Michael saw in his eyes.
Michael gave him sight.
He
gave him a new kind of sight.
What Michael saw was all blurry. Like I can't see anything. What's going on?
Gave him LASIK.
The Michael LASIK.
So he I don't know what happens after that. He wants to go on a walk.
Everything
with her.
They want to go on a walk, and he's like, "I killed someone."
Oh yeah.
And she just like stops, and then that's the end of that. Like,
and then she just goes straight into. That's when she tells him.
Yeah.
She goes straight into. Oh, I admired you when I read about you and everything. Yeah. And assumes that that's who he's talking about with I killed someone. Yeah. Like, maybe if you would have let him finish saying who he killed, you might have found out something a little different about this guy.
Yeah. So what happens after that?
So they go.
Joel, you're the freshest watch on this.
I've seen it twice now. Yeah. So I watched it on Peacock and I watched it in theaters yesterday.
Was it better in theaters?
I mean, a little bit. Like,
or I guess watching it the second time, same. I guess it can be better because you already know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, it was louder, obviously, in theaters. So I mean, that's for like the music wise, that was That was nice.
Yeah.
But it's the same story, so it's if I've seen it once, then nothing really changes much. Yeah. But they go to the house of the family that apparently is deserted now. Yeah, like nobody lives there anymore. I mean, if I were the family, I would have moved out too. But like nobody moved into that place, so that's where he's like telling about what happened with Jeremy and everything. And I don't remember what happens, honestly, after this moment.
I think this is when they go to the little like diner, or whatever, and they're talking about like wanting to leave Haddonfield, and like, they're tired of being there, whatever. And Allison's saying like, "Oh, my memories are here, and my grandma, I can't go, and all that." And and then
because we didn't talk about how she got pulled over at one point.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna mention. So she gets pulled over toward the beginning of the movie by a cop who's like much older than her, but apparently they dated at some point. It seemed like
And the movie made it seem like we were supposed to know this, the way that it was presented.
So in a way, we kind of did, because so when we did Halloween Kills, there was a flashback to to like 3 siblings, some of the worst acting ever, but they were
bullying
up there. Yeah, they were bullying
Lonnie.
Lonnie, yeah.
Yeah, Lonnie.
And that's what okay, go ahead. I'll tell you later.
Oh, sorry. And so that's who what was his name? I'm trying to look it up, but for some reason I can't find it. But it was Mulaney is the name. Okay. Was the name of the siblings. And Mulaney Doug was one of the Mulaney siblings that we saw.
Oh, that's who that cop is.
Yeah, that's who the cop is. One of the Mulaney siblings. Because when he follows Corey into his demise, he goes, "You don't mess with Doug Mulaney." I was like, wait a second, that name sounds familiar.
Because they do say that in Kills, too. Okay. Nobody messes with the Mulaney's or whatever.
Mulaney's,
Okay, so if I had caught that would have been actually a lot cooler right then, because when the bullies were bullying him, both at the gas station, bullying Corey at the gas station and at the bridge.
Yeah.
I was thinking this is like the Lonnie situation.
Yeah.
And so that would have been kind of cool to know, because then he was bullied by someone and then ends up.
Although it couldn't. Okay, I take that back. It had to have been the son of a Mulaney, because there's no way it would have been. Because that was 40 years before. So it was a son of a Mulaney. I'm just not sure which one.
Okay. The cop was
older, but he wasn't that much older.
I know.
He was. He may have been like maybe 10 years older, but he wasn't like in his 60s.
Yeah. Maybe.
But yeah, so he pulls her over and tells her that like her exhaust is loose or whatever. It's like hanging. And so that was, something that happened toward the beginning of the movie.
But that was for us to know that she had this relationship that she's gotten out of.
Yeah. And so they're, back to where we were in the diner. They're talking about leaving Haddonfield, and then this cop who's at the diner comes over and starts talking to Allison. Oh, you owe me a phone call, or blah, blah, blah. And, kind of just like disregarding the fact that she's talking with Corey right there. And so she's like, "Can you see that I'm talking with somebody?" And blah, blah, blah. And he's continuing to go on and try to like talk with her. And then Corey kind of gets in his face. Like, she said she's busy or whatever. And, so they kind of get a little confrontational.
Yeah, and that's when Allison can see, oh, this guy's a little crazy.
Yeah.
But no, she's like, oh.
But she likes crazy.
Yeah.
So
yeah. She's like, let's burn it to the ground. And then he's like, I'll light the match. So corny. And
that was some Danny McBride writing right there.
Yeah, there's a few lines that are like, okay, too much. So then, this cop has it out for this Corey guy now, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So he's, of course, going to follow him. And Corey leads him to the sewer.
Yeah.
And I don't know why this guy really wanted to get a hold of Corey. He goes into the sewer.
Because he saw the evil in Corey and was like, I have to protect Allison.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a protection thing because he mentions like, oh yeah, you're the one that killed the kid or whatever. So it's it's a protection thing, but maybe back off a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So he goes into the sewer to find this guy who's done nothing.
As one does.
This guy's done nothing wrong, but we're going to go into the sewer and search, hunt him down. So runs into Michael and Corey in the sewer. And
he's got this like creepy laugh too. Like he's
Corey,
Corey is enjoying this a little bit at
he's
this
like
point.
laughing. And this is one of the parts when they show Michael in like a corner and like on a side shot kind of in the shadows that I thought was cool. They showed him and the Doug doesn't see him there because it's dark and he has like a flashlight and then he turns the flashlight on and sees Corey but then we know as the viewer that Michael's
standing there and watching
right over there and so Michael grabs him but Michael is very weak and gets kind of knocked over and knocked down and like he's getting like he's like I think I
he's
could
getting beat up.
He hasn't killed in a while. Like,
he has.
But apparently he has though, because the homeless guy said that he takes people in there and they don't
every
come
once
out.
In a while. Like,
Maybe they're already dead, and he grabs them, takes them in.
And
or
eats them or what?
He has to be eating something. So, like, it's been 4 years. He's got to eat something.
Yeah, maybe that's why he's so weak.
Yeah.
He hasn't really eaten much.
Just humans.
He eats like, rats when they're around and
So this guy's kind of it's taking both Michael and Corey to kill this guy. And he Corey tells him like show me how you do it or
show me how it's done.
He's like, okay, you just take the sharp part of the knife and just stab.
Show me how you do it. And he has like a knife there, like this, like shiny.
It's like
knife.
in the wall. It's like pulls out of the wall, and it's good to go. It's good to go at that point.
Yeah, and it's just like Michael and Corey are just like besties.
Yeah, now they're buddies, and he's like killing this guy, and then he's like standing up and like shaking, like it's almost like the power is coming back to Michael now.
Powering up.
He's hulking up.
He was powering up,
Because at that point, he leaves the storm drain or sewer or wherever this is.
Yeah.
Because he's going to houses now at this point. So I don't know what he's been doing for 4 years because all it took is one kill to get him to.
He leaves after that?
Yeah, because so Corey goes back to Allison's house and it shows Michael like hiding behind a tree or something or a bush probably watching, and then Lori looks over and he like moves away. She doesn't see him again. It was just like a from behind his shoulder, so you saw like his shoulder like from behind, and then it shows
because the next kill shortly after that is the doctor and
but that's Corey.
Well, and
no, that's him too.
Oh yeah, he does come.
Yeah. He kills the girl.
Yeah,
and I'm in a really okay. So this is one of those we're gonna harken back to the first Halloween movie with that
Yeah.
kill where he pins him against the wall.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but no, a kitchen knife is not that long of a tool to go through somebody and into the wall to like pin them. I mean, she's a pretty small person, but still, that's not how that's gonna work.
I'm fine with it, but I'm just done with it.
Like,
how many times are we gonna do this?
They've done that a few times.
It's a very
in this
classic Michael move.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's overplayed.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It kind of would be like better if we got to see Corey do it.
Yeah.
Where then it's like, okay, Corey's really gotten the Michael in now.
Yeah. Or
So
if it was like
first...
he does it, he pins her up, but then he like cuts her head off, or like
or
does
like
something
pulls
more.
her, pulls her down, and
does something like throws darts at her or something, like she's a dartboard or something. Like do something more.
So here's the first scene that's not in the trailer. Like the trailer is different in this scene than it is shown in the trailer.
There is quite a few differences.
There's a few differences, yeah. So it's kind of weird because they must have, I don't know how many deleted scenes there are in this movie, but so in the trailer you see the doctor in the pool, like and there's like blood around him.
Yeah,
you don't even see that in this movie. Like it's one thing to have like the actual kill scene and then show the body in the pool, but you don't even get a pool scene.
No,
okay,
that's right. I didn't remember that.
Yeah,
but yeah, so the slutty girl is looking around for the doctor and then finds him. This is another cool scene with, again, in the background you can see, because it's dark, but you can see like something moving around behind her.
Yeah,
and then the lights turn on and it's Corey stabbing the doctor and killing the doctor.
Yeah.
He has his scarecrow mask
with the corkscrew that the doctor was using to unscrew the wine bottle earlier. So like that they show you the weapon of choice before before using it.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. Not like a super creative kill or anything, but it was pretty brutal. And
I thought it was cool, like that he had his scarecrow mask. And everything.
Yeah. He had his own little mask. And then the girl is inside, and then Michael comes and grabs her, pins her to the wall, stabs her, so she's stuck to the wall. And then does his head tilt as usual.
His classic head tilt, his classic pin you to the wall kill.
Yeah, haven't seen that before. So then what happens? Is this? I think.
Then
what we haven't talked about. Yeah, and we haven't talked about Corey's mom and dad.
And Lori had gone over to.
His mom is kind of
she's
weird.
The worst.
And
all right,
she's like.
So here's the thing with everybody except for like maybe 4 people in this entire movie. They all suck. And I feel absolutely nothing for any of them. Yeah. Except for maybe Corey's dad or stepdad.
Oh no,
or whatever.
he was weird.
He was the only as far as adults go, he was the only normal person in the movie.
Yeah, but he looked like, what the heck?
Oh, you're judging by looks?
Yes, like
stop body shaming.
Weird.
He did have a weird look, but he was
nice.
He was at least nice.
Yeah, but I didn't like how I don't know. I mean, I guess whatever. I think I was just being picky at this point with how like he was his boss, and then all of a sudden they get home and it's his dad. Yeah, and I don't know. It was like, okay, I guess you're showing that the only job he can get is with his dad. Yeah, because. Yeah. I thought because
maybe because he's a child murderer, so people think that he, even if he didn't serve time, people do assume that he's a child killer. Just like OJ, like he didn't serve time, he's he's
definitely a murderer.
But so there's one other thing I wanted to mention. So they have to bring up this social commentary with their movies. Yeah. And Halloween Kills was the whole mob mentality. Yeah. And in Halloween Ends, there's victim blaming.
Okay.
Because when Laurie got out of the store, and this black lady was like talking to her and stuff, and saying if she hadn't antagonized him, that he wouldn't have hurt her sister or whatever. It's like, all right, that's a little heavy-handed.
Yeah.
It's not okay to do that. And it's a little out of the blue to just bring that into your movie. I don't know. It seemed a little out of place.
I have some theories with, because I feel like this movie is all about like what evil can do to people. So it's, we don't agree with what she's saying, but it's what the evil of Michael Myers has done to her is why she's behaving this way and taking it out on another person who has had a lot of evil done to them, but it doesn't matter because, it's just circulating throughout the city.
Yeah.
And that's true with her. That's true with Corey. It's true with the bullies. It's true with the, the doctor, whatever other person you want to mention, for the most part. And I think that's why you're saying, like, everybody in this movie sucks. Like, I think that's the point, is it's trying to show, like, even at the end, she says evil takes many shapes. Yeah. And I think that's the point. I don't like it. I think it's lame for a Halloween movie. But I think that's kind of what they were trying to go for. They're trying to be elevated.
I was going to say, do you think they're trying to get like all artistic and like
100%. Yeah.
Well, they're trying to go for like the whole Pennywise Derry thing, where all the adults that are in the town of Derry are all like psychotic and crazy, and it's because of the curse of Pennywise. It's the curse of Michael Myers in this case. That's causing.
Yeah. Well, and he was in the sewer, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, taking a little bit from Stephen King there.
Yeah, a lot of parallels there, you could say. But yeah, I think that's like the overall theme. So, anyway, so let's just kind of like fast forward through here. So, Corey eventually, him and Allison are planning to leave. Laurie isn't happy about it. She's like worried. She goes to Corey's parents. Corey's mom is crazy. She's like super mean to him. Corey's dad seems to kind of be absent, like not really involved in much. Just his boss at work, I guess.
Well, and he got him the motorcycle.
Yeah, he got him the motorcycle. And I can't remember what happens, but Corey's like, okay, that's it. That's the last straw. I'm going to go and get Michael Myers' mask now. Yeah. He goes and goes to the sewer. He's like, you have something I want. And like just pushes Michael around.
Beats him up.
And takes his mask. Like within minutes.
And had Michael just powered up?
Yeah.
Like how short-lived is the power up?
It's a very short energy boost.
Michael's like, I thought we were friends.
So. And I mean, would Michael have really left after killing this chick?
Yeah.
And really just like be like, okay, I'm just going to go back to the sewer now. It's Halloween night. Really, that's all you're going to do? Yeah. Go to this one house?
Yeah.
No, that's not what you would be doing right now. Like, you wouldn't just be going and chilling in the sewer.
I'm going back.
He's got to go home.
Go hibernate
it's
for
been his home
year.
for 4 years.
Yeah, like the night is not over. And oh my god.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing.
He got hurt in Halloween Kills. He got nearly killed in that movie.
That's the other
yeah,
thing.
so
about
he
this
was
movie.
traumatized, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he was staying low for 4 years.
It was kind of hard to tell, like, the lead up to when it actually says October 31st.
Like,
I was
what
thinking,
day was
like,
it before that?
Yeah, I was like, wait, it's not even Halloween yet? Because they already had the Halloween party and everything. So I was like, okay, now it's Halloween. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wait, the Halloween party was before it turned Halloween? What the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody had even been killed by that time.
This movie.
Yeah.
So then he gets the mask, and then Michael, of course, sits up as he leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where's my mask?
Does the classic sit up, but he has no
Yeah.
mask and not intimidating.
He
does
has
the
the
classic
strength
sit up a
to
couple of times in
do
this movie.
the
I like
sit-up.
Yeah. Yeah, he had enough strength for the sit up.
Yeah.
that.
So he takes the mask and he's now gonna like go around getting revenge. Because he goes to the he writes like Psycho or something, like carves it into the kid's car, the bully kid's car. And so that, I guess, makes them go to the junkyard because they know that's where he works. And, then it's just basically a massacre. They all get killed over there.
I was totally fine with that.
Yeah.
By the way, I was like, okay,
The dad,
I'm on Team Corey. But yeah, I was not okay with that. So I don't like slasher movies that you basically have to root for the bad guy. You feel absolutely nothing for the victims.
Yeah.
I didn't feel anything for anybody except for the dad. There was a disconnect for every single person because frankly, all of them deserved to die. that ended up dying in this movie. So like there was nothing there. And that was definitely one of my bigger issues is that if you're going to have victims in your slasher movie, you need to make them relatable. You need to make them likable.
Yeah.
So that we can actually care when they die.
Right.
And so, yeah, that was a big one for me that I didn't hear anybody talk about in like the horror groups and stuff. Like, I don't know. That was a big one for me.
Yeah, no, that
with this movie.
I hadn't really thought about that either. But now that you say it, yeah, that's another big piece to a horror movie that was completely missing from this. Was any stakes? There was no stakes.
No, there weren't. And the one that died that I liked, Corey didn't even kill him. Michael didn't even kill him. He was killed by the other guy. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, the kid.
Everyone Michael and Corey kills, I'm like, okay, do it. I don't care about any of these people.
Yeah. So then there was a scene where Corey and Allison are like on the roof of the radio station.
Right, yeah.
And they're talking all dramatic and stuff, and the DJ, we get to meet the DJ, and he's a jerk, and I don't even remember what he says, but he knows who they are, and he calls them names and stuff, and that was another time when, well, we got to get out of here, let's burn it down, or
oh my gosh, they're so dramatic. Like,
and so he goes there to the radio station to kill the DJ, and in this scene, he is Michael in this scene. Like, he's got the whole mask on. He's already a mechanic, so he already has that outfit.
Yeah.
And this was the best kill of the movie, probably the best part of the movie. He's like slamming the DJ's head against the turntable, and you can hear the music playing, and it's like skipping, and then he cuts, and his like jaw is like falling off. After like just a few times getting his head smashed.
I know. But, I'm just like, all right, that's.
Corey got like super strength.
That's a choice
because before he didn't even know
got
how
all
to
of Michael's
like,
strength.
Stab someone.
Corey couldn't even build up strength for a 16-year-old, but we're good now.
Yeah,
he's slamming this guy's
put the
head.
mask on.
Put the mask on.
So that's another thing where it's like the power is in the mask.
Yeah, there's that theory.
Yeah.
So then he cuts his tongue off.
Yeah,
and leaves it on the
record.
Final, the record.
Yeah.
As it's going and it's skipping over the tongue each time it goes around. And that was cool. That was creative.
Yeah. I like that one.
Skipping.
Yeah. Everyone in town's like hearing it just like skipping the song.
Yeah,
I love that was
Allison in the car and she's listening to the station and it's skipping.
Yeah. She's like, what's going on here? That was a really cool kill. I also I wish it was more in focus, but that car or the mechanic shop kill with like the main bully, how like he gets like a flame and just like a torch, puts it in his mouth, a torch, just like puts it in his mouth, and like you see I wish it was more in focus, but that was a pretty cool and intense kill too.
Yeah. So those are like the highlights of the movie, pretty much.
Oh wait.
Well, I'm not done.
Okay.
I'm saying that those are the highlight, like the good parts. And so
then it's all downhill from here.
So then it goes
the last 30 minutes.
Like Lori, she's finishing up her book, I guess, and she's pouring a glass of
no, she's
her and Allison are like in an argument, and Allison's like, I'm going, you can't stop me or whatever, and Allison leaves.
Being rebellious.
And so basically it's like, okay, Lori knows that Allison is leaving with Corey at this point.
And that's the other thing that's inconsistent is like, what is the relationship with Lori and Allison? Because like in the last movie, Halloween Kills, like Allison just loved Lori and like was by her side. And then at the beginning, it's like, you can't tell if there's tension between them or if they get along or what.
Well, I think they were getting along up until Corey entered the picture. Because they seemed to be getting along pretty well in the beginning of the movie. It's also been 4 years since Kills, so something may have happened between there.
Well, and that's the thing, though. There was no development in like showing anything about their relationship except for Lori was desperate to get her a new boyfriend and desperate to get her to go to this Halloween party.
And then she saw him standing by a bush, so now she's desperate to keep her away from him.
It's an evil bush. I don't know.
And it's
get
like
rid of that bush.
And then Corey's like all against Lori when it's like, dude, you're the one who, like, Lori saved you at the gas station just 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And then he throws that in her face
it's all your
in an
fault.
upcoming scene here. You started this.
Yeah. So she's leaving. She's gone, Allison. So then it's all dramatic with Lori. She's pouring herself a shot, and she's pulls out like a gun from her safe, and she calls 911 saying she's reporting suicide.
No, but you haven't is this before they go to the creepy house?
Oh, when she's sitting in the chair talking to him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They
skipped that part.
Yeah, they had a whole dialogue at this, and it was like, why were both of them at this house?
And he
does say
in the
something.
Bloodstain.
Sleeping in the area in the spot that he fell, and he says something while he's like on the stairs. He's like, "If I can't have her, no one will."
No one can. Yeah, he says that there, and then
dude.
again later.
That's psycho behavior right there. That's,
fear.
So
I mean, that's really all that happened. There's not a whole lot of like dialogue there's
dialogue, but
important.
Nothing that's
there
important.
is. Yeah,
it's all the same. Lori talk.
Yeah, but that was the beginning of him knowing that Lori's gonna stop him.
them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he knows at that point that she's very much against it now. And so then, we're back to Lori. She's calling in a suicide. and it shows like a pumpkin, and Laurie, like, I think she lights the candle in the pumpkin or something. And then the camera kind of veers away, and you just hear the gun go off and like a splatter on the wall. Yeah. And I think anybody, I mean, I don't know. I felt like it was very obvious that she shot the pumpkin. Not herself.
I was going to say, what did you think in that moment? You're like, there's no way this is how they can end Laurie. Like, by suicide.
I thought that was so obvious, especially because they just showed the pumpkin then, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't even 10 seconds later when she pulled the trigger. And
well, why would she light
was
the
it supposed
pumpkin
to
if
look
she's
like
shoot it?
Killed herself? Because
it was
I don't think it
look
even
like that.
Yeah, it didn't even look like it was supposed to look like that.
I think that was the idea, but I don't know. It wasn't very well done.
Yeah,
I don't think blood doesn't look like pumpkin bits.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Like, was that supposed to look like her brains or something? I don't know.
And so then it shows Michael, or who is
Corey,
open the door. And this is shot differently than what's in the trailer.
It is. Yeah, there's no POV with this movie. There was in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed in that, but
yeah, it looked different. And so pushed the door open, and she's like, in the trailer, she says something else, but in the movie, she says, "You really think I was going to kill myself?" Or something, and shot him like a couple of times.
Okay, what does she say in the trailer?
She say like, "Happy Halloween, Michael," or like something something lame, but like not that though. Okay. Not you really thought of it, because if they put that in the trailer, that would have been like, what?
Yeah, that would have been a big giveaway. Like what? Like, okay, so at some point you're gonna
fake,
quote unquote kill yourself, but you're not actually.
Yeah.
That's just a fake out for us. But yeah, they had to change the dialogue.
Yeah, I think it was like Happy Halloween or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
because there's one part in the trailer that I remember hearing in the trailer over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something in there too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's probably the same thing.
More things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he falls off falls down the stairs. He's down there, and Laurie. This is Corey, and Laurie goes down there and like shoots off the rest of the bullets in her gun, puts the gun down. She's like, "You came here to kill me." No, so now she's like, "Let's duke it out." Like,
you came here to kill me, then do it.
Yeah. But she's shooting the gun off. Like, okay, I don't have bullets anymore. I don't have a gun. Yeah. Come get me.
Yeah.
Like, God.
Yeah. Like, let's fight.
Round one.
Fight to the death. Even though I just shot you like 2 or 3 times, so it's unfair. But whatever.
So, I was like, what is she doing? Why is she shooting the gun off? Oh, she's trying to be a badass. Okay.
Well, and she,
of course.
Yeah. Again, they could not decide what kind of character they wanted Laurie to have.
Yeah.
In this movie.
So, this is like her 2018
Which Laurie
version.
is this?
Yeah. So then, Corey, or you can hear that Allison is coming back.
Yeah.
And so then Corey starts like laughing, like ha 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 ha. And he says again, I told you if I can't have her, nobody can, or whatever. And he just puts the knife into his throat.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing he was laughing because he knows that Allison's about to come in and see that he died right in front of.
Well, he's
Laurie.
laughing because he's framing it to make it look like
that's right.
Laurie killed her.
Yeah. So.
But really, okay, all this time you're such a fighter, you're tuning in your Michael, and then you're like, if I can't have her, no one can. Why are you giving up on having her? Who said it was over?
I don't. She doesn't even have bullets anymore.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, I don't know, and so that's the end of Corey. And then Allison comes in and she's like freaking out.
She flips out.
Yeah, and she runs away again.
Because Laurie is holding the knife in her hand. Guys, stop holding knives. Like, what are you doing?
It looks pretty bad for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely
Corey
like
did it in the
mirrored
beginning.
with,
She did it
like,
then. Like, come on.
I'm gonna now frame you like this kid framed me, kind of thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I was holding the knife while he's laying on the ground.
Yeah.
But the whole framing lasted a good, 5 minutes of this movie?
There was no real framing happening.
There was, I was like, oh, all right. Well, that's a decision, I guess. They had to, like, wrap it up at some point. Like, we can't have this going on all night.
They're like, oh, wait, this is supposed to be the end. How are we going to end this
add another
now?
old, like, plot twist now to this, so we'll just do this for a second.
Let's just kill him. Okay.
Yeah. And then have Allison mad at her for 5 minutes, and then she'll be over it. Like, okay.
Yeah, and then what does Allison say? Like, I'm not.
We'll get there.
Okay.
That's the worst line of the movie.
Oh my gosh. Well, especially after how Allison has been the whole. Allison.
So then, Lori's all upset because, of everything that just happened.
Yeah.
So she, like, kind of goes into a corner and she's crying. And then we see a hand pick up the mask.
Mm-hmm.
And, we can only assume it's the actual Michael Myers. And finally, Michael is in the movie again.
Yeah, for their final showdown.
10 seconds of fame.
So there's
it was a cool scene. I just wish it was much longer.
Yeah. So there's a little cat and mouse, classic Michael and Laurie little showdown, but very short.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough energy. His power-up doesn't last that long.
Yeah, he didn't do a very good job either. So, he gets her hand almost in the garbage disposal. I think she gets, like, cut slightly on it.
And she headbutts him.
Yeah. And eventually...
Which most of this scene is in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
most of it's in the trailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
And
the one scene with Michael.
the one scene that we're, like, looking for, too. Like, this movie was billed and advertised as the final showdown. Like, you're expecting this epic battle, and you pretty much see the whole thing in the trailer.
It's in the
And so she like gets both of his hands stabbed and pinned to the counter and locks him in with the fridge on his leg and takes his mask off. And I felt like they did an okay job with still not completely showing his face.
Yeah.
I thought they did okay with that.
With how often he didn't have his mask on in this movie. Like, there were a few scenes that, you kind of see his real face a little bit. Yeah. But it's still, like, in the shadows.
Yeah.
So you don't see it, like, head on.
Right.
I think they showed his face more in Kills than they did in this movie.
Oh, I think so, too.
His mask off more in this movie.
Yeah. So she slits his throat. And the cutting, she cuts his throat, but it's like...
It's a very sharp knife.
I guess it is, because she just barely slides it across. Like, I mean, I know she's not actually cutting a throat, and it's like a prosthetic or something there that's probably easier to cut than skin. But you gotta make it look at least a little bit like she's trying. Like, she just
slides stabbed into his neck and then
stab him.
Done it that way.
Yeah, not just like this little slide
Again,
across.
it's like they're trying to make it all artistic.
Like, she didn't even do it fast either. It wasn't even it was like this slow slide with no force. Like, what?
Yeah.
Does he have a butter neck? Like, what's going on? So
you don't know.
So he's
old
out.
At this point, right?
He has very thin skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's bleeding out, and he ends up like ripping his hand out of the knife and grabbing her by the throat. Which was
hands all messed
with
up
half
now.
His hand, he's strangling him with half his hand.
And so for some reason she's like, struggling. Dude, you just had this whole fight. He's pinned to. You can easily move away from him.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing, is he's strangling you with half a hand. Like, there's no way there's that much strength. He's
she
bleeding
still had
out.
the knife.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and she's like just standing there taking it pretty much. Maybe she wanted to die.
Yeah.
I don't know. And there's like these
Probably
flashbacks.
She's probably done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like these flashbacks of the current timeline that we're in.
Well, this is Michael trying to put the evil into Laurie at this point.
Oh, you think so?
I mean, that's what happened with Corey.
Yeah. Are they locking eyes, though?
We saw his past, but I mean, Allison came just in the perfect time to not finish his evil plan.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he did get a little bit in there. Who knows?
So she comes.
She's not coming back for another Halloween movie. There's no way.
Please not. Please don't. So she comes over Allison and is like, and breaks his arm in half.
Yeah.
Like a twig.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
hey, she's angry right now.
I can't let this happen to you. So dumb. Like, it's such a, like, I was like, okay, cool. Is he going to kill her? Like, I was excited. Like,
I was hoping.
I was hoping that he was going to kill her. I thought that would have been a really lame way for her to be killed. But I was like, okay, there's something more. Like, come on. And then she had to ruin it and then have this super corny line.
Yeah.
It's like really ruined any sort of mood that was going. Oh my gosh. And so then, they can't just like bury him.
Nope.
So
they showed this thing a couple of times in this movie, by the way, too. Like, it's one of those, like with the corkscrew, like it's focusing on something. It's going to get used at some point in the movie. So
what are you talking about?
It showed the machine, the grinder.
Oh yeah.
A couple of times in this movie.
Yeah, it did.
So
yeah, they decide that they're gonna put him on the top of this like rickety car that Allison drives with a loose, what was it? Exhaust. And so they put him on top.
Yeah.
And they're like parading him down the street. And I guess everybody called everybody that they knew. Because they all came out to watch.
I know, the whole neighborhood, the whole town showed up for this.
This is pretty morbid. So then he does like some crowd surfing.
I don't remember this.
They like all carry him to the grinder. And then, Laurie stands up.
And it was Laurie.
And
what I was hoping was going to happen in this scene, which would have been really morbid, is he grabs her leg just as he's getting pulled in.
And
she gets pulled in too.
That would have saved the movie.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not saved the movie, but that would have been. It would have saved the ending. I'll say.
Yeah. That would have been. That would have been a horrible way to kill off Laurie, but okay.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But yeah, so he gets ground up and definitely, they definitely ended him. Like, there's no way for that.
There's no coming back from that.
It'd be the end of Michael in this form. So that, is how they end him. Then later on, it shows like Laurie and what's his name, Frank, yeah. They're talking. He brought her vegetables or something. I can't remember. And so they have this elderly love thing going on.
Yeah.
And but something I thought was kind of cool was at the very end, they show the different rooms in Laurie's house where like battles had taken place. Just like they did at the end of the first one. But in the end of the first one, it was like a dark ending because Michael got away. And then it had the music and it showed those different rooms and it was like, oh man, where is he? This time it shows those rooms, but he's dead and it's like this bright like visual. Like it's like more of like a new beginning kind of thing rather than a dark thing.
A dark ending.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the entire movie.
Yeah. Oh, and that line that Allison says, where she's like, "I know Corey killed those people." Like, no, what? No, when did this revelation occur?
Oh, she says that?
It was that night when she comes back, and she was like, I know Corey killed those people. Like,
oh,
no,
yeah.
You don't?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You just...
Yeah, how did she figure that out?
How did you know that? Like, there's no way. No, I don't believe that for a second. It's that whole, like, Lori Allison confrontation.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, only lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because she believes her after...
Yeah.
After nothing.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, because she left and then came back and saved her.
Oh, Lori said,
Yeah.
I know Corey killed those people?
No, Allison said it.
Yeah.
When she comes back, she's like, I know Corey killed those people. No, you don't. What are you talking about?
Heck.
Yeah, I don't know where she learned this information. But...
Yeah, no.
Like within that 5 minutes
within that short period of time. Or maybe it was like the next day or something, but she does say it. And like after their little fight. Yeah. And when she comes back.
Oh my gosh. So they just really wanted to repair every relationship and end on this really magical, happy thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you're not gonna kill anybody off, at least kill like Lindsay off, because she like at least make us feel something. Like I would have maybe
kill Frank off or something.
Well, they gotta have their little romance.
That would have been more sad, actually.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Anybody but Frank. He's the only one I actually cared about, actually.
Kill Lori, dude.
Yeah, Lori, she could have not even been in this movie and I would have been happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy she will not be in any more Halloween movies. Because
she signed like a waiver or something like that.
Oh, did she?
She won't be. Yeah, she did.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Saying she won't be in anymore.
That's funny that she signed something saying that.
No, just don't do it. Like,
we just really don't want you to do this. Can you sign this, please?
That's funny that they even had something for her to sign.
Yeah, what the heck? I hadn't heard that. That's funny.
Yeah, I heard, there was a few like posts about that and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. That's a little weird. Like, I know like money's a big thing, but like just don't do it. Like, you don't have to sign a waiver saying you won't like star in any more of these movies. Just don't star in any more anymore. Huh. But
weird. So
now she can't change her mind.
Yeah.
Nope. It's
set in stone.
Yep.
So it seems like, judging from just how we talked about the movie, we were not all like very big fans.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It's literally in my ranking. It's right in the middle, like right smack in the middle.
Okay.
I redid my rankings and everything, and it's
right in the middle.
It's firmly in the middle. So, because there's so many people saying, there's more people hating on it and saying that I've literally seen that this movie has ruined people's days. Really? A 2-hour movie is going to ruin your day?
FML.
And and saying it's like, it's not just the worst movie of the franchise, but it's the worst movie they've ever seen. Like, no, it's not that bad. Like, it's really not. But then there's people that are saying that it's the best movie of the franchise, and it's like, it's not that either.
Definitely not that.
Like, so there is a middle ground, people. You don't have to be extreme on either side. Yeah. And that's where I fall on this one.
Okay. So I fall on this is right above Resurrection for me.
Oh wow. So it's low on your list.
Yeah. It's the Corey storyline is fine. Mm-hmm. And I thought that he did a good job acting and everything, and I thought that was fine. Yeah. But that's not for the end of Halloween.
Of a trilogy, yeah.
Yeah. That's not for the end of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
That's for Haddonfield spin-off miniseries or something.
Yeah.
Well, and if it's going to be part of the end, then you need to develop exactly what you're wanting Corey to be.
Yeah.
And follow through with it.
Yeah.
There was no follow through with this movie.
There was no point to his character, really. I mean,
no.
I guess the point was, just the evil transferring to different people and stuff. But it's this whole like social commentary, or this whole like abstract idea of evil throughout Haddonfield. It can be anybody. It has many shapes and all that. And I'm like, okay, cool. But this is Halloween. Like, what movie do you think you're making? That's not for it. Yes, in the original, Loomis is all about how Michael is evil and he's not a man. He's pure evil and all that. But that's one character doing that. That's not the whole movie. There's
if you look at like credits and stuff on like IMDb, his name is literally The Shape.
Yeah.
So it's like, so technically you could say that, I guess. It comes in all different shapes and he's just one of those shapes.
Right. But that's the point. Yeah.
But
that's the point of it. But you're taking Halloween, which is a more realistic, grounded, simple movie, and you're trying to turn it into like some Jordan Peele film or something. Like, you're trying to turn it into an A24 project. And no, that's you're overdoing it. You're taking your like artistic like message that you want to put out there and making that the focus rather than the dude who created the whole freaking franchise, Michael Myers.
Well,
how is that not the focus of the final movie?
That's the thing, is if you use Loomis as an example, okay, have Corey be like a Loomis character or whatever, a side character, where he's getting developed, and then use him to then eventually develop into something else.
Right.
But still have Michael Myers in it. Yeah. And the whole feel of the movie in general, like in every other Halloween, like the whole neighborhood is up in arms. Yeah. Everyone is worried. When they do kill the doctor and the nurse, like no one even knows about it. No one even there's no fear or worry within the neighborhood at all. The whole entire focus is on Allison and Corey.
Yeah. It didn't show like kids out there trick-or-treating. Like you wouldn't even know it was Halloween.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't know it was Halloween. You wouldn't know it was even a populated neighborhood at all.
Until everybody gets called when they do the parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then everybody shows up.
And then, I feel like there's some similarities between this movie and, dare I say, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where people went into Season of the Witch hating it. Not went into it hating it, but when they got out hating it because there was no Michael Myers. It wasn't a Michael Myers story. It didn't even feel like Halloween.
Yeah.
I get the same impression with this movie. If this wasn't titled Halloween Ends or Halloween whatever, this would have been a bigger movie. Because I do like the story. I do like the story of a kid who is basically like, an accident happens and, he's a kid dies under his watch, and the whole town is against him because they think that he killed him, and so that kind of gets into his mind a little bit. Yeah. Do like a character study on that type of thing, and not have it be a Michael Myers story, just have it be a separate thing altogether.
Right.
Yeah.
It would be a pretty compelling story. I do like the story. I just, like you're saying, it's not a Halloween movie. It doesn't belong having a Halloween title, I guess.
Yeah. And the promotion, the ads, everything, complete BS for this movie. It wasn't about a Laurie and Michael story.
No.
Laurie's
saga ends.
Yeah, their saga ends. No, their saga like had a little commercial break. That's what their saga was. It was like a commercial break for everything else. Mm-hmm. It was like a little ad on a YouTube video.
Yeah,
the trailer was pretty much
their
longer
saga
than their fight.
Yeah,
yeah.
The trailer was more exciting.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So there was talking about the trailer. There was a scene in the trailer that there was something that we had talked about in the previous episode where we didn't like the dialogue that Laurie was using, which was she said something like maybe I have to die to end this or something like that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. This is the line that I was talking about.
Yeah.
She doesn't say that in this movie. I wonder if there is somewhere a cut where Laurie does end up dying and that line is used because it makes more sense if she dies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then because that's
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
That was the line.
Yeah.
I was waiting for.
Yeah, and that was very focused on the trailer too.
Yeah.
It was very clear. It was very oh man, maybe they are connected somehow or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and at least we know, okay, that's how it's gonna finish, or we have some idea of. Yeah. And she still has that thought in her head that it's all about me.
Yeah.
That this is. I have some control over this.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't like it, because it kind of it takes away from the when in Halloween Kills, when her and Frank were talking, and Frank was like, he's not after you. This isn't about you. To have her just say this ends with me or something like that, it's just like you're totally just negating everything that Frank was telling you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you can't just be told one time this isn't about you, and then all these years are taken away of you believing this is all about you. That was ingrained in her, and I think that's more her than this new Laurie in this movie.
I could see them making sense of her saying that for her character.
Yeah,
because she's not convinced.
Yeah, because he's back again in my house. Yeah. It is about me.
Yeah.
And Corey made it about her. It could even go with what they did with Corey.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it wasn't in there. And
you're like, well, oh well.
So, yeah.
I wonder...
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say, when they originally had the idea to do a trilogy, I do remember them saying that they wanted to have all three of them be on Halloween night, the same night. Yeah. But then COVID happened, and that kind of pushed things aside a little bit.
Yeah, maybe rethink their...
Yeah, story. I hate when they do that, because if you have an idea, that sounds like a pretty crammed idea, but it's an idea that... it would have been a completely different movie than what we got.
Yeah.
If you had Halloween Ends on the same night as Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
That would have been
would have been a much better movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they took the time with COVID to, rewrite the things that they were doing, which shouldn't have done that. It's like, if you had ideas, you should just stick with them and not be like, oh, we got time now. Let's think this through a little bit. No.
Yeah, because this movie is
go with your gut, guys.
So out of place. It doesn't make any sense, tone-wise, story-wise, character-wise. A lot of it is just not connected to the first two. And those two weren't amazing movies, but they were okay. And this one just, I think, is a big step down. Doesn't feel like a Halloween movie. I feel like they tried to get elevated on it. And it's like, this is not the type, Halloween is not what you do that. You can do the elevated stuff as far as the cinematography, the tone, the atmosphere, the score, the way that, they hide Michael and different things like that. That's all part of kind of that elevated horror style. But the whole extra messaging and all that stuff, that can't overshadow Michael Myers. Nothing should overshadow Michael Myers in a Halloween movie. It's
especially in the last
disrespectful.
movie.
It's so disrespectful.
I think we just got greedy. We got so much of Michael in Halloween Kills that not seeing him at all in Halloween Ends.
Joel.
In Halloween Kills, oh gosh.
Joel, there could have been no Halloween movies for the last 20 years. And then they put this out, and I'm still mad about it. It doesn't matter how much of Michael we saw. Actually, I probably would have been even more pissed about it if that happened.
Yeah.
So something I did want to mention. This is a long episode, but I do want to talk about this real quick. So
it's an important episode.
Yeah, this is the most talked about movie of the year for horror. So it deserves a longer episode, even though the movie didn't deserve it. So you might have heard this, Joel. I was telling Katrina earlier today. So Danielle Harris and Scout Taylor Compton.
Yeah.
The Talk Scared to Me.
Yeah. I haven't heard their episode on this. I didn't even know they had a podcast. So I followed it when I heard about it on Spotify. So I'm like, I'm gonna listen to this one at some point. But yeah, I had heard a little bit about what happened, but I didn't listen to it. So
I listened to it today, and I did know that they had this podcast. They talk about horror films, but they talk about a lot of other stuff. So I don't really listen to it. But I did listen to this one. They were all excited about going to the Halloween Ends premiere. And so, if you don't know, Danielle Harris played Jamie Lloyd in Halloween 4 and 5, which is Laurie's daughter. And then she also played Annie in the Rob Zombie Halloween and Halloween 2, which is Laurie's best friend. And then Scout Taylor Compton played Laurie in Halloween 1 and 2, the Rob Zombie version.
Rob Zombie, yeah.
And so they have a podcast together. They're like good friends. And they got invited to the premiere for Halloween Ends. They were all excited. They were going on the red carpet and all this stuff. So I was listening to this episode, and Scout, she said that they recorded it actually before. But this is their re-recording because she was worried about some of the stuff that they said in the episode and how it might hurt their reputation because of who they were talking about. Okay. And so basically they're worried about being canceled.
I want to hear that original recording.
So yeah, she's like, in this, business, you have to be really careful about what you say and all this. And so they redid the episode. But they were still pretty clear as to what they were upset about. So, they weren't fans of the movie. They had a similar review as to what we just had.
It's probably theirs was shorter though.
Yes, it was shorter. They were on the red carpet. They had never met Jamie Lee Curtis before. And so they were excited to finally meet her, which I was surprised they hadn't met her before. I thought that would just be kind of a given, but
she's not a fan of horror. She's the Scream Queen, but she has stated many times that she's not a fan of it. And I highly doubt she has seen Rob Zombie's Halloween and Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Let alone Halloween 4 and 5, because she agreed she didn't want to do it, but they killed her character off screen, which is a little, I don't know, disrespectful for the character. Whatever. So she probably didn't want to. I'm just saying,
she was going. She
could have had her
leave,
or
no, forget that. I'm not giving her any excuses for her behavior. So they were going on the red carpet, and they're trying to get a picture with her for the final girls of Halloween, the main 3 girls that everybody that's a Halloween fan would know about. And so that was going to be really cool. And they were on the red carpet, and then I guess when she showed up, they kicked everybody off the red carpet so she could have it by herself. And so she had all the attention on her only. So they weren't able to do it then. So then they watched the movie. They were hoping, you know, at the after party or after the movie, you know, catch up with her and get a picture. Mm-hmm. So they finally get an opportunity to do that. And Danielle Harris introduces herself and says, you know, I'm Danielle Harris. I played your daughter in Halloween 4 and 5, or Laurie's daughter. And she told her, oh, I didn't watch those other films. I don't know who you are.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But yeah.
Oh, man. And she's like, I was just frozen. I didn't know how to respond or what to say. Yeah. How do I continue the conversation?
Hey, Jamie, how about you don't say anything? Like, how
about you just say nice to meet you?
Okay, cool. Like, that's yeah, exactly. You don't have to be like, oh, I don't know who you are. Okay, cool.
And
can I get this damn picture?
And Scout had a similar experience, but she didn't even want to talk about it in the episode. I guess she went into more detail in the original recording that they did and ended up crying.
Release that recording.
Yeah. So she was pretty upset. She didn't want to explain what happened, but she had basically the same thing. She didn't know who she was. So then, you know, learning that, I'm like, okay, I already knew that Jamie Lee Curtis was kind of like a pompous...
a diva.
Actress, and she's like shamed people for letting their kids watch horror films and you know, different things. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, she's an executive producer on I think all 3 of the movies, definitely on this one, and I'm like, that's why this movie sucked. It's partly her fault. She didn't want to kill off her legacy character.
She probably had a huge say in what happens in this movie.
She didn't want it to be about Michael Myers. She is not even a Halloween fan. She doesn't know and understand what a Halloween fan is looking for in a Halloween film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she doesn't care. Mm-hmm. And that pisses me off. That's just the attitude. And I guarantee you that's the attitude. We want to make it more artistic.
That's all there is to it. Like, it's, you know, she doesn't, I don't even know why she decided to do it. She doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
It's just...
Oh, and I guess there was this whole, like, thing before the movie. It was like this video that was put together by Heather Langenkamp, by the way, of a bunch of different actresses and people that are, like, giving props to Jamie Lee Curtis, and it was like this whole love fest for Jamie Lee Curtis before the movie. And Danielle Harris and Heather Langenkamp, I guess, are friends, and we're talking to each other. And Heather and Jamie Lee Curtis have never even met. They don't even know each other. And I'm like, man, like, why is Jamie Lee Curtis? Why is she even a thing?
She doesn't know who...
I don't even get
who
it.
Danielle Harris is. She's definitely not going to know who Nancy is.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Yeah.
That's a different franchise. She's not even a fan.
Right.
She's not even a fan of horror. So,
I don't even get why Jamie Lee Curtis is anybody. I mean, she is...
I mean, she owes her career to Halloween. This was, like, I think her first movie she ever did, or at least it was her breakout performance.
Yeah.
And
she didn't even do that good. She was okay.
No.
Like, she was just like anybody else.
She was the best part of the first movie, but...
I don't think she was the best part of the first movie.
Well, Mike was one of the best parts just because nobody was good in that movie. So, to be the best part of a movie where nobody's good is not really a...
I mean, her best friend was more fun than she was.
Yeah, they at least had more personality.
Yeah, she was just lame.
Yeah. Yeah, I will never understand why she has such status. Because, and I know Halloween was, to a lot of people, like the first slasher and, you know, all of that. But it wasn't. It wasn't the first slasher. She wasn't the first final girl.
Black Christmas was before this movie.
Yeah, Black Christmas, and there's a Final Girl in that. You have Texas Chainsaw, Final Girl in that. Yeah. But they don't get the same respect and status. Mm-mm. And what did Jamie Lee Curtis do? She didn't do anything that they didn't do. I mean, you look at Texas Chainsaw. She went on to
star in other horror movies. So, but yeah, as far as her
Lori. What did Lori do? Lori didn't do anything. And then in number 2, she barely does anything in that one too.
She's in a hospital bed for 90% of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like Halloween Kills.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. I'd much rather watch Halloween 4 and 5 with little Jamie.
We know.
Yeah. Little Jamie is
I'm surprised 5's not your favorite of the franchise.
I think it is. He just
Jamie Lloyd is a much better Final Girl.
Oh yeah, Jamie Lloyd is awesome.
And
I want to have Danielle Harris on this podcast.
Yeah, okay. You should check.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, if they have a podcast, maybe they'd be down for it. Like both of them would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
Get Heather Langenkamp since they're friends.
The Final Girls episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
About the book we're reading.
I would be.
So yeah, that was my rant on Jamie Lee Curtis. She is my least favorite actress in horror ever. After learning about this, it bothers me.
I just feel like with being so known for horror movies, you have to have some kind of buy-in.
Yeah, well, even like for PR purposes, like even if you're not a fan, like get some knowledge just so you can like kind of be a part of the crowd for a second.
Well, and don't be completely vocal about how against it you are.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Oh, and she burst into tears because of Kanye West's shirt recently too. So she's just a drama
because
queen.
Of White Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She woke up and burst into tears.
My gosh.
She said that on a
Laurie Strode would totally.
She said that on like a daytime show, when she was promoting Halloween.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There's no way that actually happened.
She's so
We're going to be hearing from her lawyers here at some point.
We want video evidence of this.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that's been a long episode. We're at 2 hours.
It's probably our longest episode.
Yeah. Let's end it. Halloween Ends is
gonna rank it
or second not rank to last favorite. It's right in the middle for you. So what is above it and what's below it for you?
All right. Let me get my handy dandy list here real quick. All right. So my ranking, I have it like it's number 7. It's right in the middle. It's above Halloween 6, but below Halloween 4.
Okay. It's above Halloween 5?
Absolutely.
What?
Halloween 5 is my second to last.
Yeah, he doesn't like Halloween 5.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't. I mean, so that's where Halloween Ends is for you, is where Halloween 5 is for me. All right.
Yeah. We didn't give it a rating, though. We didn't actually score it like with a number.
Yeah.
No.
So I give it a 52.
Oh, we're doing like percentage?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always done percentages.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it's been a while for her.
It's been a long time. I'll give it a 48.
Oh, even lower.
Man.
All right.
Well,
Joel,
I liked it a little bit more than you guys did. I'm giving it a 71.
No. 71, okay.
71, right. 72. Yeah, okay. I'm going to stick with 71.
All right. So it's okay.
Yeah.
And I would agree. It's an okay movie.
No, it's not, though.
In the wrong franchise at the wrong time with the wrong audience.
But this is the thing, though. It wasn't an okay movie. It was terrible writing, which is the same thing with Halloween Kills. So you're lucky you didn't.
It had better writing than Kills.
It's not a good movie. It's like,
okay. No, it wasn't even okay because it was like they had ideas and then they destroyed them.
Yeah.
All throughout the movie. It's like you had a vision of what you were doing with Corey and then you destroyed it.
Yeah.
And then you had a vision of what you're doing here. You destroy it. Like there was no
like flow.
Yes, yeah. There was no flow. The whole movie was about watching Allison and Corey and
riding on the motorcycle.
Gosh. And then it's like you have these random characters here and there and you do nothing with it. It was not in any way even an okay movie. Right. That's why it gets an F.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right.
There's my...
Well,
all right. Your 2 cents on...
Yeah. I'm disappointed that it's definitely not going to be in my top 10 for the year. But I'm guessing it probably won't make yours either, Joel.
I don't know. I have to go through that list because there have been quite a few good movies coming out this year.
Yeah,
there have come out this year. So
one that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, there's one that is really good.
What haven't I seen?
What haven't you seen?
Oh my gosh, Joel!
Come on,
if
Joel.
you don't hurry up and see it.
Well, he can't see it.
I know.
Oh, I can't. Oh,
Come to California.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Come here. We'll do the we'll do the podcast in person.
That would
come on over here. It's playing for another week.
So. One more week. You have this week to get here.
I'll just call out for the entire week.
There you go.
There.
All right. So we're also going to be doing an episode, our final Halloween episode for as long as we can see. Will be the timelines. So we're going to do an episode on the timelines and which timeline we like and
like most.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay. That'll be fun.
How it all fits together. We'll try to make sense of it.
57 different timelines in this franchise.
Yeah. So we'll try to make sense of that, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Poor Michael, man. I'm so sad for him. Yeah, when I saw him buckling at the knees, falling down, I was like, "What?
I know.
What is wrong? What happened to him?"
Yeah,
he's an old man.
Oh man,
he's like 70, isn't it? It's like late 60s, 70s.
Yeah,
he's too old to be slicing and dicing.
Yeah, and his neck is made of like silk. Or
apparently so.
Yeah,
nice made out of warm butter.
Warm butter. Gosh.
Oh,
all right, let's get out of here. Yeah, let us know what you thought of Halloween Ends. You can send us a message or something, a comment. Go find us on YouTube. Go find us on TikTok. Joel's busting those out.
Yep.
Yeah, Joel, you're TikToks.
TikTok star Joel.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, go follow us on there and. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and to any of the podcast platforms that we're on that you're listening on, and so you can
Spotify, Apple, all those. You
can get notified when we drop stuff.
Not Pandora. I don't know how you get onto that one, but
yeah,
that's the only one we're not on. But yeah.
All right, that's it. This has been our episode on Halloween Ends. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Corey bite.
Oh.